I am live. Yay. So welcome, lovely people of YouTube. If you've never been to one of my lives before and you aren't as it's live right now because I just started and no one's there when I start. But my name is Michelle Andreasen. I am a psychic healer. I'm a lot of things. I'm a medium, I'm a coach, and I'm a mentor. And I channel an amazing spirit guide team called Odeon. And I also channel a Galactic Council every now and then. And this is my contribution to anyone who is on a spiritual journey and has questions or just curiosity about all things big, small, for some people irrelevant, that they don't know where to ask or where to find the information. And luckily, I am curious enough for all of you all together. So I've either asked my guides about it, or I am willing to ask them the question, no matter how. Well, my mission with this is for you to know that there are no stupid questions. They actually came through the other day while I'm making some oracle decks with them, spiritual guidance cards. And one of the texts they wanted me to write is, the only stupid questions are the one you don't dare ask, because then you don't get an answer. I love that. So this is the place to ask questions, no matter how irrelevant or beginner or I don't know. I don't want to find negative words for them, because it's not negative to be curious, and there's nothing wrong with not knowing everything, because how could you? So I'm just gonna drink something, not alcohol, just my way of celebrating my life with fruit de la passion and some sparkling water. Okay. So I hate this part where I just talk to no one, and it's my own fault. I did absolutely no advertising for this, but I know the right people will find it at the right time, and I have no problem talking. So just to present the topic for today, it's about all the things you wish you knew. Oh, shoot. Google just translated it. Why did it do that? So now it's in Danish, and I wrote in English. Now I have to translate the Danish to English because I'm Danish. And it was so much easier when it was just what I wrote. Why does it do that? Okay, so it's about all the things you wish you knew about your spiritual development and why you had to or have to go through them. Blessings in disguise. And I have a like. Yay, thank you so much. So blessings in disguise. Some people will probably find it hard to see a lot of what they have experienced in their life as a blessing. And other people can look back and the things that seemed horrible or disturbing or terrifying to some people, but today they might be able to see why they had to go through it and why it was important for their spiritual journey as well as their personal development. I feel like I should change the angle. And so why don't you just think a bit about some of the things that you knew when you were going through them, that this was horrible and why me, and this is not something I'm ever gonna get over. And you can look back and actually see, yeah, that kind of shaped me into the wonderful being I am today, or it taught me important lessons to live my life with more gratitude or with more pizzazz or whatever. And I'll just give you a few seconds to think about that. So, not a cool exercise, right? But sometimes it's funny to see that what we thought was devastating turned out to be pure luck. Like for me, the guy I wished to be with forever and luckily didn't end up being with, because then I wouldn't have my husband and my amazing kids and the life I have now. And my kids have gone through a lot of things too, where I thought this is gonna break us, or this is so hard to get through. And well, today I know I have learned so much that I can use to help other people. And I don't want this to be about me and my experiences. So I am gonna invite my guide team in already, Odeon, so that they can take the stage. But you're always free to write questions, and even when not on the live, because I will be looking at the comments and I will answer, or make sure to include the answer in the next live, because it's nice to have some questions to ask them instead of just them running the show, because I want this, or we want this to be about you, about what you need. And things change based on the people who are there and the people who are meant to find it. And the more you participate, the more. So I invited them in, and I'm just going to explain how I do that, because I used to think that everyone could just communicate with their guides like I do. And I was really lucky, because when I started my spiritual journey, so it's been a long time coming, but it wasn't until 2018 that I took a course in spiritual healing, where my teacher, Rege Moos, she has Common Sense in Denmark, a dear friend of mine, she told us that we should become friends with our spirit guide. And I take everything literally. So that's what I did. I talk to my guides and I ask them questions and I invite them on my walks. And every time I experience something, it's like, hey, you want to join me? And sometimes I don't even know if they're there, but I always give them an open invitation to take part in my life, in my experiences. And I have kind of evolved into being an open channel, so that every time just for myself, if I am thinking things about spirituality, about abilities, about nature and life and stuff, they can come in and actually give me advice, even without me asking, because they're training me to not have a lot of doubt. So every time I have doubts, they help me by giving me some information, because I like to have facts. And I know it's not fact just because some voice in my head said it, but that's not what I mean. I mean, they can show me things and they can explain things. And then when I go and do my research, it turns out, yeah, that's it. And funnily enough, I follow a lot of different people online, like Lee Harris Energy, like Ann Tucker, like Next Level Soul, or what's his Emilio something, a lot of different people. And the ones who channel, and also there are so many, but a lot of them, when they channel, they get a lot of the same messages that I do. So that's kind of cool. But the thing that I have realized is not all people take time to build the relationship with their guides like I do, but you actually can. And some people have told me, but I don't want to bother them. But why would that be a bother? They do not grasp the concept of time or presence in the same way that we do. So the more you talk with them, the more you invite them to be a part of your life, the easier it is to connect to them. But it's just a matter of opening up. Just like if you have a good friend, if you don't talk to them for a long time, you're going to have to catch up and find out what's going on in your life. Or not that you have to find out with your guides what's going on in their life, but you still have to get familiar again. And then there are those friends where it's just like no time has passed And I used to have that with one of my guides, Paul. I don't have him anymore. Unfortunately, he had to move on to another soul who needed the kind of guidance that he gave me. But I tend to simply, when I am asking them to take stage, I found out where I have them. They're located like 30, 40 centimeters above my head to my right. I know some people have them on their left and some people have them elsewhere. It doesn't really matter. It's what feels comfortable for you. And I just kind of send my thoughts out in that direction and I invite them in. And it's as though I open. I know intuitively when there's a message, but when I send the invitation out like this, now come and join me, take over, talk to people, I feel as though there's just an opening so that they can easier communicate than me having to listen, because usually it's this subtle thing where it's almost like, sorry to interrupt your thoughts. Can we give you some input on that? And sometimes they're a bit more blunt, like, yeah, that's not true, Michelle. That's not right. So get to know your guides. It's amazing. I love it. And no, they're not there when I'm trying to sleep unless I invite them in. And they never, ever disturb me. Never, ever. So don't worry about that, because you set the boundaries. You can always say, nope, sorry, too tired, busy. I actually do that when they nudge me to do things that I know I'm supposed to be doing, but sometimes I don't want to, because, my inner child is not too keen on following orders. And sometimes it's not orders, but it still feels like it, homework and job tasks and all of that. But there has to be a flow and you have to enjoy it. And remember, people watching, you're free to ask questions, even if I'm talking about something else. So the topic is all the things we have to go through, or that we are going through on our spiritual journey, and the feeling alone or the toughness of it shouldn't be like that. But if your question is unrelated, it's okay. Just ask them. And now my guides are coming through and say, it's not unrelated. Everything is related. And if you have a question, then there's a reason for you wanting to ask that specific question related to this. So they're coming through now. Oh, yeah. And I always say they are saying, and I have learned that a lot of people think I hear it as though there's a voice coming and saying, la, da, 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 and I just repeat it. But it's coming through as a mix. Knowledge, images, sensations. I just know what they want to say. It's cool. I love it. Okay, so I'm going to ask them to set direction here and take over a bit more. I'm not going to go into my semi-trance right now. That will probably be later. But I am going to take one step in the background so that their messages can come through. So I want to ask them how people can be most helped on their spiritual journey. Especially for me, it was the thing called the dark night of the soul, which is not one night, and it comes every time you take a new step into something that you're ready to learn, to know, to see. And also how you often think, I know I did, that the more you work spiritually, the easier your life is going to be, and you're going to be calm and zen, and everything is just in flow, and you don't have to stress and BS, because you have to learn all the time. And some learnings are tough, and the main thing that they want you to know is that you're not alone in this. It feels as though you're alone, and they actually came through in one of the texts I wrote with them, that when you feel alone, it's because they had to make you feel alone, because you had to learn something from that. So they were watching you. They were feeling your fears, your doubt, your insecurities, your sadness, but they had to not take that from you because it was important for the learning you had to go through, especially because when we're on a spiritual journey, this is from them, it's important that we can have empathy with people who didn't have an easy trip, so to speak, that we can understand people who are going through hardship and who doubt themselves, doubt even existence sometimes. And the whole theme about trust and surrender, that was a topic for another live I had. It's super hard to surrender to that until you learning by doing, that you can trust them, that even when it feels as though you're alone, you afterwards can see, I was actually guided, I was nudged, I had to go through this, and had I done something else, I can see now that the right thing wouldn't have happened, or the right circumstance, the right person, the right whatever. So that is one of the reasons why we may feel disappointed or that we're not doing it right. If we are devoting ourselves to being a channel and working for light and love, then why do we feel as though we're getting punished? And we're not. It's because we have to get rid of old belief systems, of baggage, of past times hurt, and also dreams that we thought were ours, but it turns out they never were. They were probably some hopes and dreams we inherited, or that we were inspired by at an age where we didn't really know what was good for us. So yes, it is amazing to do this spiritual journey thing, to be open to learning new things about yourself, about your psychic abilities, about spirit and other dimensions or realms or whatever you are able to believe in. But when you think that you're not doing it right, it isn't true. You're always doing it right. Good evening, neighbor. Hi, Marit. Good to see you. I don't know if I'm saying your name right. I hope I am, but nice to have you here. I really need to find out how not to get translation on my text here, because that's super annoying. Translate this page. No, thank you. Okay. Disable. Did that work? No. Okay. Yes. So, see, and right now I got annoyed by something and that lowered my energy. So now I have to tap back in to Odeon. I didn't get annoyed by your text, Marit. I got annoyed that even though it is written in English, somehow Translate is turning it into Danish. And that is annoying when I'm in my English mode. Okay. So do you have any questions before I move on? You don't have to have any. I am just going to give you a second or two. So yeah, and she says the topic is amazing. It is what you're talking about. Yeah, good. Maybe it was for you. I never know what the topic is going to be until just before. It's kind of, I want to know it in advance, but sometimes things happen and people send out wishes or questions to the ether, and that gets picked up. So we can always cover more topics in one if needed. But I see new people have joined. Feel free to ask any questions about spiritual development or spirit guide, teamwork, or whatever you have in terms of all things working with energy and light and psychic abilities. Yeah, your soul friends will find you. I have no idea what you're writing in English because it's being translated. Can I? Extensions. Let's see if I can turn it off somehow. No, I can't find it. There's no translate that I have put on. Why is it translating? Stop translating. There. I'm gonna ask it. Never translate this site. Yes. Okay, your soul friends find you. I still have to scroll over it. Isn't it amazing with the digital possibilities we have today to not always be helped, but be annoyed and confused, and to have your vibration lowered a bit. So I'm just gonna go into my happy mode again, because that is every time I feel excited or happy or thankful, boom, my connection is just instant. I don't have to sit and concentrate or do anything. That's kind of, yeah, what did they call it? They called it a shortcut. So the shortcut to your spirit guide connection is actually being happy. So find the emotion of love and gratitude and joy, and boom, it's there. Yeah. Good evening, Faya. So nice to see you. Feel free to ask your questions if you have any. And that's the last time I'm going to say it, I hope. And I'm going to allow Odeon again to step through and tell you a bit about the things that we wish we didn't have to go through, but hopefully can appreciate afterwards. Okay, I'm closing my eyes. So they're going to channel a bit more. I'm going to go into this and allow them to say what they need to say. They're telling me that the reason why that's actually the first time I've experienced that they are pushing me back a bit, because I have asked them to train me, because I keep, just like I did right now, I keep interfering because I want to know, I want to teach, I want you to know what's going on. Yeah, and Manit says we have to have a Danish arrangement. So yeah, Danish gathering, we'll do that. So they want to be able to come through with more where I'm not that involved in the conversation, because this is apparently also for me. Bugger. They're telling me that I have more dark nights of the soul coming up, because I did it. I was just at a mediumship circle. I will get back to them. They have patience. They're waiting. I just want to say, I just came back from a mediumship circle where we always do a meditation. It's once a month. I do this. We did a meditation, and usually I have a lot of connection with my guides. But today I just asked for an upgrade. I know when I do that, things are going to happen, and I didn't think about it. And I have a lot of things going on this week. I'm actually super busy. So why did I do that? Okay, I did it myself. So just be careful what you ask for, because once you ask, and when you mean it in the moment and don't think about the consequences, well, it's in flow. You can always say, I don't want it, but I actually do want it, because I don't want them to roll back on some of the things we have started. But yeah, just like when you have a massage and you think, oh, this is going to be so amazing, and you're super tired afterwards, and you didn't think about that. You thought you were going to feel amazing, but sometimes you have a lot of detoxing going on, and you feel completely relaxed and not energized. That is kind of how this can be. We want to have the good thing. We want to feel better and get rid of old shite so we can make room for new improvements. But it's a process, and you have to go through the detoxing. So let's hear what they have to say about that. And again, not alcohol. I don't know why I feel the need to say that, because I see people drinking alcohol and saying cheers and have fun. But I guess it's just the whole, you shouldn't drink when you're doing spiritual stuff. I don't believe that I would be inviting anything bad in. But before I started doing readings and all of that, I didn't know about my abilities. I had a tendency to be able to read people and tell them things about themselves because I didn't have my boundaries. I'm always very attentive towards overstepping other people's energetic boundaries. Now, I wasn't back then, and especially when I was drinking, boom, I could just open book them and me. Now it's just me because, yeah, if you can learn anything from listening to me and learning from my mistakes, and you're welcome. Good. Oh, so there is a question. I'm going to see what it is. Can we become high priestesses by ourselves, gain the knowledge without participating in different courses? Of course we can. Amazing question. And Freya, afterwards, I'll get back to your question. You're saying high priestesses, and I'm just going to say what they tend to say to me, because I used to, I mean, online courses, woohoo, love it, because I can just take in so much knowledge and I can just put it in my ears and learn while I'm walking around in my garden or by the ocean, whatever I do. So I was learning. And sometimes we think we have to learn a billion things. And actually, my guides have told me I have like a trillion books about spiritual development and coaching and personal development. And I've been meaning to read all of them. And they came to me I want to say not so long ago, because I haven't done it. So it mustn't have been a long time ago, but it was maybe 6 months ago. But they told me 10 books, that's all you need. All the rest is outdated or not relevant anymore for you because you already know it. And the rest we're going to teach you. And so that was one thing. The other thing is you decide what journey you want to take. This is coming from them. The journey you want to take, something are already decided for you, but we have some options. I could have chosen to build a school and go with that. I could have chosen to move to another country and start a retreat. I could have chosen a lot of ways of doing this, but the choices I make is also where I can invite them in and help me on that path. And if I'm on the wrong path, because sometimes we do that too, and sometimes we're meant to, because we have to take not always shortcuts, but detours to know afterwards, I'm so happy I didn't do that, because now I don't have to worry about would I have been more happy following that, because I actually started it and I didn't like it. So when we are deciding, so you're writing, Marit, if we can become high priestesses, and that term, it's not something that I know what you mean by, because people have different interpretations of all the things that have religious undertones. But they told me whenever I thought, oh, wow, I want to learn that. And they were like, you don't have to. You can just do it. But no, I need a certificate. I need a course. But why? But you can't just do things without learning. It's like, ta-da! They present their teachers. We have all these ascended masters ready for us. Some of you have so many people helping you and you don't even realize it. And they're actually making me aware now that I used to think I had like one guide. Turns out there were like 5 at that point. And suddenly there were like 20, 22, depending on how much healing work I did and how much I was evolving my abilities. And then at one point I had between 80 and 100, depending on what I needed, what they were there. So they had different experts coming through. And I was never aware of who they were or how different they were, but I did realize that it felt different, but I didn't know that it was because it was different entities or energies coming through. So we have access basically to all knowledge that has ever been. And I wanted to say, and that is going to be, but they say, no, 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 you don't. Some of you have access to what you're ready to know. Some of you are not even close. But yes, all the knowledge is somehow there, but it can change. And you're maybe not ready to get it yet. So, okay. So that's also what they do. They interrupt me when I want to say something to ensure that I don't say something that is not correct when like now I'm an ambassador for them, and they don't want me to misrepresent them. Okay. Yeah. Let's see. It's so funny. So I have two people here. So Freya is asking, what is the blue moon inviting us to see or look into? And then she's saying, cheers, it's so cozy in Danish, but yeah. And Marit says, blue moon is about magic, among other things, question. And Marit also, and female energy. And Freya says, I love your energy. So thank you so much. The blue moon. Yeah, I know nothing about this, so I'm really gonna take a step back. But just to finish up the whole you can learn, it's so annoying when they do this because they're actually saying, they want me to say it, and I was like, but then I'm going to be out of a job, even though it's not really a job. They're saying, you don't need to ask Michelle. You can ask your own guides. And some of the people I communicate with, you have access to them too. So it's a question of whether or not you're willing to step into your greatness. It's about believing that you have access to all things and that you get the right answers, because a lot of people, especially if they're either beginning their spiritual development or they're kind of entering a new area or a new belief, they tend to think it should be harder than it is. So they doubt what they're getting because it's too easy. And I was just told that you probably already got confirmations to what you needed to know about that. But I'm going to go into it to the people who didn't answer or didn't ask the questions, so everyone knows. So about the blue moon, and blue moon is, I read about it somehow or somewhere, and it's not because the moon is blue. I think it's something with harvest moon, and it's a full moon on a specific something. The first in the month, the last one. There are 2 in 1 month. I don't remember. So all this astrology and moon thing is not really my thing. And it's probably going to be more and more because I didn't get affected by moon energy, but I haven't been able to sleep for 2 nights now. So if I'm also a bit more than usual, it's because I am tired because I cannot sleep. And the blue moon is part of the upgrade is what I'm getting in. And they're showing me how, even though the moon isn't blue, it says they're just showing me as a blue light that is bathing the earth and upgrading the energy. And it is about softness. Many people think that blue is a masculine color, but there's a tenderness in it, a softness, like the calming of the ocean of emotions, of being yourself in the core is what they're saying. It's about, they're showing me as though you can use the energy right now. And this is weird. I see an image of a woman crying all the bad stuff out, as though the tears are like making an ocean, as though you're releasing old stuff to feel well, I will not say improved, or more renewed and ready to step into lightness, because all the heavy burdens have been lifted and you don't have to carry around all of those emotions for other people. It's as though we're all being given our own emotions now. We don't have to feel sorry for other people. Not to say we don't have to have empathy. There's a difference. Feel sorry and have empathy are two different things, because a lot of people tend to the pity, the desperate need for others to feel better, to live better lives, to be treated better. We take on the responsibility for that as though we could change it, but we can't. So this is kind of helping us release that almost like a programming in our DNA to want to save the whole world, because it's a gift for us to know that if you put on your own oxygen mask first, to take a very normal image of it, but you're better able to step in and help when needed. Because just like on an airplane, you put on your own mask first in case of something, and then you can help the child. And it's just like that in everything that's going on here. If you nurture yourself, if you're not in a state of poor energy or low energy or sadness, desperation, fear, sorrow, if you're in a high vibration, it's so much easier for you to know where to help, where to spend your energy. No, that was the wrong word, not spend it, where to invest energy, but coming from the source and not you, because we are so eager to give away our energy instead of helping people grow their own energy or be energy. And sometimes we look for lost causes, because if we could help them, then somehow it has greater importance. But lost causes need to find themselves first, and they're not ready to take in help unless they cry their tears and take on their own responsibilities. And I'm not saying we have to cry. I'm just saying this as an image of releasing that Nightingale, Mother Teresa, whatever it is that we're carrying around. And I'm not just talking about women and whoever identify as a female, or someone who identifies with the role of the nurturer, the carer, the needing to be there for other people from the heart and in the emotions. We don't have to take on the responsibility. We can still have empathy and wish them the best. But when we learn to first have empathy with ourselves, which is very hard for some people actually, because we're so good at beating ourselves up with mistakes, which aren't mistakes, they have been learnings. And yeah, so one of the questions was also if it was about magic and female energy. Definitely. So no matter what kind of gender or non-gender you identify with, this is about you stepping into more the role of compassion and empathy than the responsibility and the whole savior complex thing. Let it go. We had a savior. He did his job. If you believe that. Some don't. I didn't for a long time, but now they came through and said that. That was definitely not my words. We don't need saviors. We need community. We need people stepping up for each other and not allowing others to put up the us against them. So how can we support each other and still ensure that we can ground ourselves and stay strong in who we are and our moral codex, or what we know to be right and loving and caring, without robbing others of their chance to grow, because we don't allow them to be responsible for their own situation. Yeah, so that was that for that. I'm just gonna see if I missed something. Yeah, so Freya was kind enough to tell me that blue moon is when there is 2 full moons in 1 month. I knew it was something like that. And there's a question from I don't know how to say the name, if it's 10101 Gaia or 10,010 Gaia, but I'm gonna come to that in a second because there's more to be said about this energy right now here in June, as well as the blue moon and the gift that is in this, and how a lot of us spiritual people have probably felt a bit off these couple of days. And so step into it. That's what they're saying. Step into it as if you allow just see the blue light as though it was coming from the moon. And we don't have to be able to see the moon. We can just imagine the blue light coming down and step into it and be cleansed. Be cleansed of the need to be more and to do more. And the whole savior complex thing, what do we call it? I don't want to say pleaser because of the connotation, and a lot of people don't consider themselves pleasers. I know I don't, but I still am. I want to make sure that when I'm doing a group healing, everybody they got what they wanted, they got what they came for. And my guides keep reminding me, Michelle, even if they're not happy, they got what they needed and what they came for. You cannot control that. You can set the intention, you can do what you're here to do, but you cannot make sure that everyone is happy, because some of them actually came here to not be happy because they needed that in their life. Haha, what is that for an epiphany? And that's just the way it is. So if you don't get 5-star ratings all over, if some people are unhappy, it's either because they weren't ready, but you have helped them open up to something, because they wouldn't have come if they weren't open to doing something. Sometimes people need a lot more work on the opening, or maybe you drew them in, so they might not be open, and you needed criticism so that you can learn that, yeah, so I may have had 10 people through my hands, one hated it, said it didn't work, called me a fraud, whatever. This is very exaggerated, but if 9 out of 10 loved it and are coming back, or at least they have positive things to say. And remember, a lot of people don't tell you if it's positive. You do, lovely people. Thank you so much for that. But when you're working with something where people pay you, a lot of times they will feel that, well, I paid you. That's the thank you. But they will be sure to tell you if they're not happy. So just remember that. You cannot balance it like I got this much positive feedback and this much negative, because the negative is going to usually be more, just because people sometimes, I want to say suck, but no, people are amazing. I love people, but some people's journeys need them to be negative, and we need to learn how to be happy that we're not there anymore. That was my personal experience. I used to be super negative. I still go into that when I am confused and I need guidance. I want a manual, and people cannot deliver a manual, and that frustrates me. So that's where I have to remember, oh, wait a minute, I don't like being in this place. Okay, everything's going to be awesome. I don't care that I don't have a manual. I just look forward to all the good things that's going to come. So that's part of the journey that has been very hard for me to learn. And I had to sit on a beach and cry, thinking I'd killed my husband because I forced him to go diving, even though he didn't want to. And shit happened, and he didn't die, and everything went great. But that's where I learned how to accept when you cannot change things, and my negative energy didn't do anything. So I have learned that when I feel just any kind of vibration that reminds me of that, oh, wait a minute, I don't like this place, I'm going to move up. So move up, people. Move up in your energy. It takes a few seconds. Just think happy thoughts. It really is that simple. Okay, so new person, Gaia. I'm just going to call you Gaia. I do. And whenever you have a long name and I find an easy to pronounce name in there, that's the one I'm using. So, hi there, or hello there. I'm a new viewer. My name is Angel. May I please ask for some insight about my own spiritual journey, healing, and psychic abilities? I am hoping to understand my own abilities and what is best for me to do right now. Thank you. Yes, so I noticed that my guides, they would like me to be more structured, and I thought they were going to help me with that because they were delivering messages. But now I'm doing the Gaia thing, and I'm going to blend with your energy. So welcome. It's amazing to see you here. And I'm going to see, I'm actually going to invite them in because because that's a lot of questions, insights into my abilities and what's best to do right now. So yeah, I do. Have we met? Your energy feels like I have felt it before. I have an idea who you might be. So is it true that I have felt your energy before? I feel a lot of curiosity. I feel an opening. I actually feel as though you have had this instinctive knowledge for a long time, and I'm reminded of me when I thought I was super clever in all things, which I also am, but not the thing about people's inner life. And it can be confusing because when you're on the spiritual journey, and if you've had a super heightened clear cognizance, which is the clear knowing, when you just know stuff, you tend to think that it's just you thinking things or deducting or analyzing and getting results. And that's why you might not question, but have questions and insights about your abilities, because how can you be sure that it's not just something you can guess? It's not guessing. It's rarely guessing, because when you are guessing, you don't feel that sensation of, yeah, that's it. I know this is it. And sometimes even when people are saying, no, that's not true, cannot relate to it, your God keeps telling you, yeah, that is true, that you know it is. But I always tell people to find out where do you have your gut feeling, because it might actually not be gut feeling. Some people have it in the chest. Some people have like a tingling in their feet, or some people have like a sensation on their shoulders. So how do you know when something is like jackpot? Yeah, nailed it. That's the right information, and this is true. So find out where it is. Okay, you say it's first time you have encountered my page, maybe soul encounter. Yeah, you really feel familiar, but I'm happy you're here. And maybe soul encounter. Yeah, so my team guides here have told me that a lot of the people who are finding my channel will be people who I know on another level, and people who they work with. So we're all connected somehow. Okay, so Gaia. So they want to tell you that it's not, they say you can sometimes suffer with the, I don't want to think that I am better than anyone else. The whole, if I say I'm good at this, or how can I expect the universe or the guides, or how can I expect to always be helped? How can this be so easy? Who am I to? It's the who am I to that still is kind of, it's making, it's scrambling up the signals a bit, because when we doubt ourselves, and especially when it's easy, because a lot of the things are easy for you, and that's when we doubt them, because it cannot be this easy. But it really is. When it's that easy, it's because it's right usually. And that thing is something that you can just, I hear that you can also, like me, sit down, go into a meditation and have conversations with your guides, but that sometimes you doubt what's coming because you don't hear words as such and you're still learning. So they're telling me to ask you to do some writing and just like write questions. What is it? And then you start writing. And it's very important to keep the flow going and to trust yourself when you're doing this, because you're gonna go places. You're gonna use this. The spiritual journey is like, that's your path. I feel like we were meant to meet. I see us walking more or less the same path, but different. So you're gonna really open up and be curious like me, but do it your own way. But your guides are very much around you. So you must have asked for more opening up. And the healing is just natural. I do feel like you have a knack for animals. And I see birds. I don't know if you feel attracted to birds, but definitely the animal kingdom is where you're very much connected. Yeah, you say, wow, yes, I totally feel that right now about feeling better than others. That holds me back. I never felt comfortable stepping into my abilities or true self because of it. Yeah, and a lot of us struggle with that because, well, that's just how we're raised. Some energies on this planet wants people to not feel good about themselves because we need to be in a kind of slave position to do all the jobs that they don't want to do. And when we step into the spiritual thing, we kind of see what's going on and we don't want to be a part of the hamster wheel thingy. And that is why we keep being programmed to bother with all these things that are just drawing our energy and making us belittle ourselves. That's being programmed into us, even through the media. So you can just write down what is true, and to keep the energy up, to be curious, to ask the questions, you just write something. Let's say, do I need a daily practice? And then I already seem saying, yes, but that's not the question you want to ask. You want to ask, how can I build a daily practice? Because I don't trust myself choosing the right things. And then just write whatever comes. It could be, I am not getting anything. Why is nothing coming through? Why do I doubt myself? And then suddenly they're going to start coming through. It's because you have low self-esteem in this, and they might even tell you when it occurred, maybe when you were 7 years old in school and a teacher said something, or a person you liked told you, I don't want to be friends with you anymore because I like this person more. Some crazy stuff like that might come up, and just have fun with this. And this is what everyone can do. It's so cool to have the conversation in writing. I do a lot of my writing on a computer because it's so much easier, but I feel as though when I do it by hand, I have time to feel the sensations in it, because I'm not just hearing and you can also just have a sound recording, like have a conversation. I did that today, actually. So you can say, ask the questions and then allow them to come through and just keep talking. So I'd love to hear that. Are you able to tell me? And then suddenly you're going to know something. That's not going to work for most people. Some people need the writing by hand, and some people can do the on the computer or whatever you do when you're writing stuff. Could be on your phone. I don't know. But it's a cool exercise. And this is really the spirit guide conversation. And I'm being told that it's a really good idea to invite your higher self to take part as well, because sometimes your higher self, I used to have all that, don't think you're better than anyone else. So I actually never believed that my higher self could help me, because that was me. How could part of me, my higher self, my soul, that's just part of me. I didn't want to give acknowledgement to that part of me being something like magical or great. So I'm always my guides, my guides, my guides. But actually, the higher self is working with the guides and has access to a lot of things. So when we invite the higher self in, we get so they're actually saying what I'm doing. I'm kind of bypassing my higher self, so that sometimes my guides actually go through to my higher self because I'm not listening that much, because I still struggle. I don't want to think that I'm more than anyone else, because I've worked with that. I don't think I'm more. I think I've worked a lot more, but I'm still learning, and I love learning. I love sharing, but I still have a bit of that. But I need the guides. I mean, that's easy for me to relate to, and I've always done it like that. If I just talk to my higher self, that's a new vehicle I need to practice, and I don't feel safe in it. But a lot of you haven't learned that bad habit, so start by inviting your higher self in. And if you don't know what I mean by higher self, it's what some people call the soul, some call it, I don't know. In any case, I kind of feel like I can connect to it if I, in a meditation, go up through my crown chakra, and then I find it's as though there's this big ball of energy, like not so far, a few 10, 20, 30, 40 centimeters above my head. And I feel like I send my awareness up and I connect with it. And it's as though my energy field, my aura just grows. Like I feel I become me. And regarding the Marit who asked if you can become high priestesses, I feel that high priestess vibe, as though I have access to the information in the universe. And you really get that, oh, look at me, I'm amazing. And who are you to say that you're amazing? So I still struggle a bit with that too. And that's why it was so easy for my guides to show me that, Gaia, that was what you're struggling with, because they just made me feel it in my gut that it's what you know so well. And I have been working with it for a long time. And I got to the point where what's important for many people to know is thinking that you're awesome at something is not bad. It's bad to think, and it's not bad to think that you're better than others at something, but it's bad to think that you're a better person, a better individual, a better soul because of that. Because we're all equal and we all deserve love, we all deserve respect and acknowledgement. But some people need to be experts at some things, some people need to be at other things, and some people don't have to be experts. But it doesn't have any saying in your value as a human being, at least not on a soul plane, because we all have equal amounts of value. It's like if they're showing me that if we were cars and there would be a price tag on all of us, it would be the same price, no matter what car you're driving, or if it's just a bike or a wheelchair, the price would be the same, because our value is not based on what we know, what we do. It's just, we just are, and that's it. So we should never be afraid of other people thinking that we think we're something, because that's them projecting their own shadow sides onto you. And I just took it on as my task. Okay, so if people don't like me because of what I do or because of what I say, if I sound too sure about what I'm doing and what is coming through, and like I struggled a bit when I started channeling the Galactic Council of Light, and I was, oh, what are people going to think about that? Because who am I to? And it was like, I don't care, because if I care about the critics, then I am not able to work with the people who need this. And then I'm doing the opposite. I'm putting myself down instead of just moving onwards with my journey. So let's see. So Gaia said, Yeah, so what you were saying about didn't feel comfortable stepping into your abilities or true self because of it. I get that you've already stepped into your true self. You're just not showing people. You're showing some people, and you have like a playground, a few people where you're just comfortable being you. And I see that playground getting bigger and bigger and bigger as you're growing, Um, no worries. You just have to find your tribe. And I also get that you have in your local area, there are people at the same level as you who are also searching for networks. So just get out there and forget the whole thing about. I don't mind saying I'm a great channeler. I'm also a horrible channeler sometimes, but most of the times I'm great because I'm doing it. I'm practicing. That's what makes you great. If you're making an effort and you're doing it, then you're doing an amazing job. You might not get all the information right. You might sometimes be a bit unstructured or unfocused or whatever. But if people think negative thoughts about me because I say I'm a great channeler, they have a problem. I don't. So, but when you realize that, it's so much easier. I don't need to convince people. I'm not trying to tell people who are not interested how the world is, and I'm not trying to say that the way I see the world is better than theirs. I am open to everyone having their own interpretation. So that makes my life so much easier. And that's really a blessing when you realize you don't have to convince anyone. You wait for the people who are ready, or you search for them, because it's amazing to talk to people who believe what you believe or who are curious about your version of what you've seen, what you've learned, because we have different experiences. And it doesn't mean that your experience is wrong or theirs is wrong. It just means you have different perspectives and different levels of openness or, let's say, imagery. Because I used to always see my guides only as light because that was all I was able to believe in. And not Paul. I saw Paul very clearly because I needed to know who my best friend was. And now he's gone. But I have new people there. I don't have the best friend thing anymore because there are so many entities there. I said people, I think. But just have fun with it. So back to Gaia. So you said, I was telling you that you had a thing for animals, and you say that's so interesting. I feel like so pulled to animals right now. And yes, birds are very resonant, but I've never had any. I'm looking for pets right now in a serious way, trying to call in my soul pet. I used to have a fox that was following me around, and it wasn't a real fox, but I just knew. I was walking along a beach somewhere and I felt really sad, and all of a sudden I just had this sensation that I wasn't alone, and I got an image of a fox, and it was just always there when I was feeling sad. It was so amazing. I forgot its name, but it turned up. I forgot about it for a long time because I was feeling amazing, but then I had a dark night of the soul and it came back. So that's so nice that we can do that. But I do see that you actually have a few pets that are coming by, so you don't have to have just one. It's as they're showing me, just like I have a crystal for every mood, you can have an animal for any mood. Some will help you have fun, feel more free. Some will help you be a bit when you need to say no or stand your ground. So just have fun with the animals, and that goes for all of you if you want to. They're just happy to be called in to help, because a lot of us, we're so focused on spirit guides that we forget that there are spirit animals as well. And now my guides are saying, and other creatures, Michelle, even though you're not ready to believe in unicorns and fairies and all of that, but other people are ready, so give them the pleasure of knowing that they're there. So now you have that as well. That didn't come from me because I'm not ready to say that that is what I believe, but I am not saying that I don't believe it. I'm just not, I haven't seen them, and I haven't opened up to seeing them because that's just not a level I'm ready to go to. Good. So, and then you say, and your energy does feel so pure, clear, it's refreshing. Thank you for helping with this question. You're welcome. It was such a pleasure for me. And I feel like you don't need anything else, because the minute you start talking more with your guides, and again, I should find out communicating, not talking, because talking is communicating with your guides, and both in writing and in telepathy, if that's easier for people to understand. And then have fun with the animals. Ooh, I see you drawing animals, so I feel like you'll get clear images of the spirit animals, totem animals, whatever, that you can actually draw them. So have fun with that. And it doesn't matter if you don't get it right, because it's kind of their essence or their energy that is going onto paper, and you can kind of invite them in to help you get it into the paper. Yeah, I hope it makes sense. So Tina, being Tina, said, good evening. I would love to receive any guidance or messages that may be relevant to my spiritual journey and development in this lifetime. Such a tiny question. Good evening, Tina, being Tina, and lovely to have you here. Any guidance or messages? I'm just gonna get away from Gaia first. Thank you for allowing me in. And let's see where I'm going with Tina. Yes, so I'm actually getting that you would definitely understand the term of dark night of the soul, that you have been going through some hard times, but you have also found some comfort in the spiritual part, even though sometimes it's hard to understand that it can't just be all love and light, but you do grasp the concept. So it's not as though you really have a great understanding of a lot of things, even before you really dive into them. They're showing me as if you have a book and you start reading a few pages and it feels as though you've already read it. You really have a great access to information, and you have opened up to receiving it. Wow, you used to be like a seer in either a previous life or maybe a simultaneous life, but I see you having access to so much information. And I also see you being a bit confused, because you get a lot of things that aren't yours. It's as though you have like, as though they're showing me as though you have three television screens on. Is like, oh, I'm getting so much input and it's confusing me. And you are getting better at kind of tuning out other people, but you're not always aware of where it's coming from. It's as though you can even pick up things happening far away from you, and that can be confusing. And you're not, it might not be images, it can just be emotions and sensations. As I keep seeing, like, if you're here in Denmark and there was this peace march from some monks in America some while ago, where people were just talking about the energy. It's as though you can sense it, like on the other side of the globe or something. And you can learn how to not be so sensitive. But I also feel like you love that you can have that almost like a radar, a sonic thing, where you can, when you wake up in the morning, how's the world doing? So I hope this makes sense to you. So what can you get in terms of help for that? I'm sorry, I just wrote a comment that I shouldn't have. I read a comment from Gaia, so I'm just getting back to Tina being Tina. I'm asking my guides to help me keep focus here, because that chat field, I cannot help looking at it. So information, you're really good at just loving what you do. Just like me, you can get very excited about it when you allow yourself to go into it. But I also get that, like I was talking about with Gaia and my own insecurities about being awesome at this. Like, some things just come so natural that it cannot be, it must be something I'm making up. And when we allow ourselves to believe that it is easy, it's going to be easy, and we can just let it flow and have fun with it and grow with it and feel amazing without worrying about other people either giving us less positive sensations for it. But we don't have to share to people who are not interested. And sometimes I feel like there's something with the community and you needing people to back you up. You do have a few friends, I feel, that would be very open to this. And also, I feel like there are some, like, either witchcraft, shamanistic, some in your network or in your friend group. I feel very drawn to, like, Celtic, shamanistic, that those kind of people, drums, medicine wheel. So I guess that would probably be a past life or a journey thing if you believe in those things. But I see very clearly, like, druids. So I hope this rings a bell for you. Yeah, that could be a way for you to go, but don't go too much into rules and how other people have done, because it's going to be so much more natural for you if you just say, oh, that's interesting, and then you just close your eyes, you go up, and you get the information you need because you just have access to it. I hope that makes sense. And then let's see. I just wanted to go to Gaia to finish the reading before. She's saying, oh my God, one other thing, Michelle. I actually used to draw so many animals as a child. That was my passion. That's so interesting. Now it comes full circle. Thank you for validating that. You're so welcome. As always, it's my pleasure. I love doing this. And then you say, I literally felt my soul come online as you did. Haha. Would love connect one-on-one in the future. Love your channel. I'm always open to connecting, and especially if you want to do interviews online. I mean, the whole talking about your spiritual development, that's what I really missed, because I only heard people talking about when they were at that perfect place, and that gives a lot of people the sensation that, oh, you're born into this, you're born like that, it's just natural for you. Oh, no. Yeah, it's a long journey. Some people are more intuitively adept. They just have a normal relationship to it, especially if they grew up in a spiritual family. But I took a lot of detours. Like, I grew up with parents who saw, like, a UFO, and my dad believed that the pyramids were built by aliens, and he had some healer abilities. But then I went into the very logic, very fact-based reality of technology, took a master in IT, and I took a long detour to get back into not having things that I could prove. Or I mean, I get a lot of my information in, like, telepathic information. I get visions. In a meditation, I can be sent to another galaxy where I see things of how people have evolved there. And the Galactic Council, I've been up there. I saw this huge, I mean, first it was just a normal table, but it was of light. And then they showed me how it was, like, never ending, because there might be 12 sources or entities that people talk about, but I was told that it's actually 12 sources of origin, and a lot of entities, a lot of souls are coming through. And sometimes there are, like, many people up there, but they come from 12 sources. So that's the version they gave me by showing it to me. I saw that. I saw as though it was like a portal. They would come through from different places. It was crazy, but I was able to believe it because I had no clue what I was seeing. And then when I started talking about it or searching it, other people have seen that huge, the white table thing. So yeah, that, I don't know if I came off channel, not off channel, off topic. So Marit says, I have acted diplomat among especially arguing relatives since childhood, now between myself and my daughter. And that is huge, as we're equally strong-minded. There somewhere is my mission. Yeah, and I'm seeing the umbilical cord that sometimes I have one of those kids too. Like, we are so alike and yet so different. We clash a lot. We're unnaturally close, and yet our communication is so off sometimes that it's so weird. But that, like, oh, that's my son Oliver. He's been like my biggest mentor in some cases, because I learned so much from that, being so alike and so different, and the challenges and the how he everything I can do, he can do. He's a great artist, and he can communicate with plants, animals, deceased loved ones, whatever, and healing and all of that, without having anything other than me just encouraging him. But we're so different, and his struggles are way different than mine, even though we're so alike. So that's really a fun lesson I had my soul sign up to there. But I'm grateful for it. And that dark night of the soul, I've had many based on that relationship. And today I can say, wow, I couldn't have helped a lot of people if I hadn't had the insights into how his brain is, because we're so tight that he opens up and tells me things that seems weird to me, because my brain works different, and it has helped me not assume things. But yeah, and the mission as such is more for you to get to know yourself, and to work on the shadows, find your shadows, because sometimes it's in the struggles, in the challenges, that we find our own shadows, so that we can get to appreciate them. The ones that get frustrated, the ones that get annoyed. And for me, I used to, so this is the neurodivergent psychic, and I did not know that I had raging ADHD. It came with age, and it was in my 40s that it totally crashed. I used to have quite a temper. I still have temper, but the whole spiritual stuff has really helped. But my poor kids, I tended to just maybe raise my voice a bit too much whenever things got frustrating for me. So that was a good learning for me, because I had to face that it wasn't them who were doing something wrong. It was me, because I couldn't hold them. I didn't have any energy left for them. But that was before I knew why, and now I know. So I know how to stop myself, and I know how to. So if you're also ADHD or have a sensation of your brain being different, don't ever get hungry. Every time I wait too long between meals, the whole hangry thing, yep. So I just don't allow myself to do it. So I have snacks everywhere, in all my bags, in my car, in all the jackets. I have snacks everywhere, because I want to do good for mankind. And the one person that might be closest to me, if I get hungry, they don't deserve that. So find out how you can improve on that, and not give the other. So I used to be, who the heck didn't do so and so and so, and I would never take responsibility that, okay, maybe I haven't taught them, maybe I haven't been polite in telling it's really important for me, because what's important for me isn't important for others. I don't know why I'm taking this detour, but someone here might need to know this. We can learn so much from other people's actions that piss us off, because that is where we learn to have compassion and try to understand, okay, so you do it that way. That is annoying to me, because that is not logical, and it doesn't make any sense to me. And I feel as though you're doing it towards me, against me. and then go in and see, okay, so this is me having a reaction to that. Why? And why are they doing that way? It's really try to analyze the situation before you react. Oh my God, there's so much to learn in that. So I hope that helped. Yeah. So your mission basically is just to be you and to acknowledge that this life is hard and we do our best. And as long as we try to learn something all the time, you're doing it great. So Angie C. Art says, am I going through another big upgrade? And I knew it. I feel like you also got a reply the minute you wrote that. Yeah, you are. Why do you need confirmation? So they're saying she's also like you, Michelle. You're getting a lot of people here who are a bit like you, because they're showing me one time I was in a situation where there were a lot of workshops, and I just looked for the same answer everywhere. And they were like, okay, are you satisfied now? Do you believe in your abilities? Do you believe that you were meant for this? And that kind of helped me believe the first time. Okay, they're saying, no, you don't. Okay, first or second or third time that they give me confirmation on something, I believe it. I don't have to consult other people. I consult my guides, and just do that more, because the upgrade you're going through, yeah, it's also something, it's not karma as such, but it is something about relationship with other people and how they are affecting you. And I feel as though sometimes we feel like when we have a friend, or it could be a partnership, it could be like I don't know how to say, just like I don't want to. It's not. I don't mean sexual. I mean relationship with someone you love and spend time with. I don't know how to say this anymore. It's so weird. But it's late, and I was tired, as I told you. I haven't slept almost for 2 days, and my words are being scrambled now. But I feel as though there's a tendency to look into the future. Is there a future in this? Is this going to last? And feel as though there has to be a purpose. And I'm not just talking about relationships. I'm talking about like a job, like a passion, like where's the future in it? There has to be a future in it. And that is kind of what their patterns are being dissolved if they no longer serve you, because they were hindering you following your flow and your passion. Because sometimes we have learning situations that can feel good for just a day or an hour or a month or whatever. But if it feels right, just go with the flow. And because there had to be meaning in everything before, that's kind of being unlearned now. Now it's, does it feel right? Do I feel drawn towards it? And if I check with my gut feeling, my intuition, and I ask my guides, do I get a full body yes? And just go for it. So it's going to open more doors. It's going to open also your connection to your guides, because you're kind of, it's not that they want you to prove anything, but you're showing an openness towards this path that they are also saying you have been communicating with your guides about the path and how you can contribute. And I also feel you must have realized sometimes in your dreams that you're having like encounters or something, because I feel as though you're doing a lot of work when you're sleeping, and you can just open up more for that, because you don't even have to be aware of the work you're doing. But I just want to I have a friend, and she used to like, oh, when I go to sleep, I want to be of service, so just use me to the greater good. And she would be exhausted because they would just use it. Like she would hear like conversations and blah, the ether out there, and never really sleep properly, because there were too many things going through. So just set your boundaries whenever you have an intention of the upgrade. And they're also saying it's okay to say, what are you ready for? Like you don't have to be a bit too spontaneous, like I am. And I just say, I'm ready for the next upgrade. Give me the upgrade. And I forget to say what I'm ready for. It's just, I trust you. Just bring it on. So it's okay to say, so let me every day just get a hint. Show me what it is I'm going through. Give me an idea. Tell me what I'm supposed to be doing. But I don't know. I just love surprises. So if you love surprises too, go ahead. But just know that your dark night of the soul might say, "Ha! You asked for me. Here I am. Are you ready to tango?" I'm sorry. I'm tired. This is me being tired. I get weird as though I'm drunk. I am not. I promise. So I hope Angie that helped. So yeah. But just enjoy the ride. It's gonna be a bumpy ride. I'm so sorry. I don't know what's happening. But yeah. But see it as like a roller coaster, or you're in an amusement park, and sometimes it's like, oh my god, what's gonna happen? Oh my god, we're gonna scream, or we're gonna down, and then we're gonna up, oh, we're gonna be relieved, and then there's a turn, and then again, oh, this is scary, and then woo, and then you're there, and it's like, wow, you feel exhausted, but that was amazing. Or you're going to be shaky and say, I'm never going to do that again. Fine, there's another thing you can try. Maybe you just do the carousels or the whatever for a while until you're ready for the next bumpy ride. And we don't have to do the bumpy ride on purpose, but some of us love the challenge. We love the feeling of actually doing something. I feel so for me, I'm a bit annoyed at the teacher I had in elementary school that put up a big sign, no pain, no gain. Because that's how I roll. Like, and if I go to a massage, I want it to be hard, and I want them to really do some work, because I'm not there to relax. I'm there to be fixed. And today it's like, no, I just want to relax. I want wellness. I don't want sports massages unless it really, really hurts. So we can do this the nice way too. But sometimes we love that thrill. So yeah, ups and downs. I'm always thinking about what comes. Okay, so Tina says, so she was the one who I saw being super open. You say, I do get confused about the information that comes. I don't know what comes from where and how to filter it. Yeah, I saw that. That was those 3 TV screens. If I try and get the information knowingly from the quantum field, I feel like I get nothing. Okay, so the quantum field, I feel like you're not really logging into it's because you're always logging into the quantum field. And when you're trying to log into it, it feels as though you're actually going out of a door. So you're going into this, and that's a nice place to be. Sometimes I think what you see as the quantum field, it feels as though you're going into a safe space, a relaxed space. So that's where you can kind of turn it all off for a while and take a break, because you are very much connected to it. And the thing you can do instead is kind of pull yourself back, like find yourself center and say, I pull back everything that is me, and I send out everything that is not mine. I send it back in love and gratitude, and I want to be fully me, just me. And please shelter me, give me a shield, and just be in that. So make sure that you don't have anyone else's energy, and also that your energy isn't out there somewhere. Imagine just like pulling it back as if you're an octopus, and all the arms and whatever tentacles, they're all coming in, and you're you. Sorry, that was a weird image. And when you're there, that's when you can build up and find what is the quantum field. But it's as though you're going even further. I see as though you're going to the grid, and then you're moving up into the, I want to say nothingness. It's what I call maybe dark matter. It's so nice to be there. It's like a big, warm, black hug. So it's not because you're not able to connect. You're just too good at it. So maybe learn how not to be connected all the time, and you're going to find yourself having way more energy. And then if you're going to miss being connected. So instead, ask to be only connected to energy, to love, to light, and ground yourself. Ground yourself more, and just feet in the grass or in the water or whatever. The grounding, yeah, you know it. They're saying she knows. Don't say anymore. And you said, and the information we try to seek from other dimensions, is it delivered from higher entities like guides, or is it the direct information like a book we connect with? Hope it makes sense. I just want to check that you didn't write more. That was the last from you. I'm trying to keep it. So I'm actually just, again, listening to the Akashic records on Hay House Audio. Empower You is really a good app because it costs like $50 a year and you have access to all the Hay House audiobooks. It's amazing. I listen to whenever I'm driving, and a lot of this I know, but when you're talking about the book, like a book, I think you actually see a book, and I think you have good access to the Akashic records, but it doesn't. It's maybe different than how it has been described because we have different images of it. I've been up there. I wasn't aware that it was. I just got into this. It was like a castle, and I came in, and there were just bookshelves everywhere. The books were kind of the same, and people were walking around, putting up the books and writing in them, and then I was presented with a table, and there was a book there and a pen, and I was so excited because I was going to see my own records and my future, and it was so good. And then I opened it, and it was blank, and I was like, "What's this?" And it was just, "Now write your own story." And I was like, yeah, you got me there. So we have so much more power to build our own futures than what we think. So that is the book you can get access to if you want to know about the future. But you can also begin building your own past. And no, if you want to know about your past, but the future, they are actually encouraging more and more to build your future. Because when we look into what was planned, things are changing so rapidly right now that we can help the flow of it. But the quantum field. So you said other dimensions. Is it delivered from higher entities, or is it the direct information we connect with? So it depends on the intuition. So I don't go to a book when my guides are giving me information, but I can do that if I deliberately sit down and I would ask I think I would actually ask my higher self to take me up to I would just see myself going up there, but I was also helped by my guides because they took me there. So I know what it looks like and I know where to find the book. But you can just build your own. We're creators. All of us were creators. So you can just sit down. You can even just imagine like, okay, I want to have my book right here, my book of life, the one that is for me. And then imagine you can read it, maybe with your eyes closed, if that's easier, because sometimes we have a hard time believing that we can do things, but just what is it you need to know? And then you can just rewrite it. If there's a page you don't like, they're showing you, just rip it out and rewrite it. But they're saying, be careful not to rip things out and don't replace it, because then we're going to just feel empty in the places where we just delete parts of ourselves, because everything we've been through has been an important learning and an important knowledge. And even the scars that we carry around in our souls, they have a purpose. And a lot of times it is to remind us of the horrible things other people are capable of doing, as a reminder of us not becoming that. So that was actually interesting information. I didn't know that. Makes sense, though. The universe is amazing, huh? As for other dimensions, well, if you think about it, when I talk to spirits from the spirit realm that have been people who are now passed over, it is another dimension as such. So yeah, it's kind of like an elevator. Which floor do you want to go to? Do you want to go to the Akashic record? Do you want to go to what some would call heaven, or the spirit realm, the ascended masters? Some might be able to actually get direct access to them. And it's, you set the intention. It's like a GPS or whatever you need as an image for you to understand it. The information you get depends on where you're looking for it. I always look up to my guides, but sometimes they will direct me further up. So I feel as though, okay, there's like, I need tangible things. So I need to know the distance. I know, okay, they're there. My guides are in this distance from me. And then sometimes I feel as though they're pushing me up when I kind of visit their level or frequency. They push me up and I get access to something else. So I don't deliberately do it the most of the times, but I can do it. But I always go through Odeon to get up there. But when I would go to the Akashic record, I keep feeling like I would go up through my higher self above my head and search up there. So, and I get, they're showing me, or maybe it's your higher self. I actually don't know who's sending this information right now, because I'm just tapping into information for you. And I just know that you'll know. You don't need more directions. It's as if, oh yeah. Okay, that makes sense. Got it. I hope I'm right with that. Good. So I have to get to the healing soon. Let's see. Marit says, my daughter must be neural. So I'm guessing you mean neurodivergent. I don't know. I'm never going to tune into other people, or I am highly sensitive, strong in feelings. Yeah. And it's usually something we inherit. Like, I know my dad, he would have like projects all over that never got finished. Here, a tumble dryer he had disassembled because he was going to fix it himself, and then a bike over there, and then some other crazy project, and it was just all the time. And I've inherited, like right now I have like crystals there and artwork there, and I'm working on a million things at the time. And that's very much the ADHD. I got it from my dad, and my youngest definitely has ADD. And but I think it's if we look, I actually saw a super great quote the other day. It's maybe not that we are wrong for the society, but that the society is moving away from the people. And that's why so many, especially the one that we categorize as neurodivergent, that they're the wrong ones, when in fact it's the society that isn't made for people. So I think my brain is amazing, but I wish I had learned more about not being typical, but having this superpower of being able to process so much all at once and learn how to protect myself and my brain, so I wouldn't have burned the hard drive or whatever we're going to call it. So it took some time to land again. Yeah. And Freya, I love your authenticity. Cheers. Thanks. I don't know how to be anyway different than that. And she said, I've been getting a lot of headaches. I can't get clear messages for myself, even though I am an intermediate evidential medium. How would I know what I'm ready for when I didn't experience it? To know I don't do roller coasters like never ever. I am neurodivergent. I am still really confused. Yeah. So let's see why. So I get that. So you feel as though you're not getting messages, but you do get them. But it's just so it's it's when I'm asking a question, I often know the answer even before I've asked the question. So it's as though it's just, oh, this is just me knowing things, but I want to have a real answer. Like, so just an example I was just saying today. So what's my next step? If you knew how many times I've asked what the next step, and I can almost hear them saying, oh my God, not again, Michelle. We've given you the steps so many times, but either you ignore us, or you write it down and say, that's amazing, and then you forget about it, or you don't want to listen because you knew them already, and that can't be it. That's just your mind making it up because you want it to be that. And so I feel like you're doing kind of the same. You burned your hard drive too. Yeah. Mm-hmm. We we can have a very hard time getting information for ourselves. So I actually use a lot of online readings with other people. So I do like practice, and I use it as a place for me to try new things. But when you give readings in return for readings, you'll get other things than we sometimes don't know the questions to ask, or we're scared of the answers, so we're avoiding asking the right questions. And I feel as though that's what's going on here. And I also feel the fear, like the headaches, the whole, oh, could it be this, could it be this, could it be this, could it be this, like there's a whole lot of worry going on there, and a lack of trust in your own abilities to know how to be in flow and to enjoy and to be able to not have the bumpy ride. And so just, if you don't like the bumpy rides, just ask for a smooth ride, because you don't it's many people feel as though, oh, but I'll be punished if I don't fulfill my mission. It's not punishment as such. So let's say you came here to be a light, to help people. I'm just talking for me. So they've shown me you're gonna help people with this, and this is your mission. So what if I decide, nah, you know what? I'm just gonna find a retreat place on Bali and do yoga for the rest of my life for people, and maybe only for me. That's what I feel like. I'm not gonna go to a shitty destination next time, but they're actually saying some other poor soul or part of me, as though I have different existences that I am a part of. Some of them will have a harder time because they have to work harder. And in this existence, other people will take over. And they're saying, and we'll be sad because we put in a lot of work here, but we're not going to ever punish you for it. And no, we're not going to be disappointed, as you were going to say, but we're still going to be sad because we see the potential in all of you. If you feel the call, it's because we believe in you. We see the potential, and we know you wouldn't feel called to this if you weren't meant for it. Some people will maybe take it a bit too literal, the whole, "Woo, I was made for greatness," but that's part of their mission. So some people can be like high on the power they get for realizing that we're all magical creatures and we can do so much and know so much and see so much and create so much, but there's no punishment. So once you get rid of the idea that you have to do something specific or be something specific, or that there is a consequence, if you don't do this, then this, if you can just believe that it's okay to take baby steps, and it's okay to take breaks, enjoy the view, feet in the sand, whatever, the sun, watch the butterflies, or whatever your thing is, if you feel like it, because that's that's actually part of your journey, because you have been straining yourself so much. So now every time you how do we say it, you kind of scold yourself for sometimes not doing enough, and belittling the things you do because you know you're able to do more, but no, you're not, because then you would have done it. So the minute you stop treating yourself nicer and not being so ambitious, and your ego is going to say, no, that's not ambition, you're just lazy, or this is a rerun of how my brain used to work until I accepted that, I'm just going to take a day off today because I don't have any appointments. Yes, I have my guides who are eager for me to soon release the book that we've been writing on, and I haven't been working so much on it, but they're still there for me. If I go live, they're there for me. They're a bit sad that their words are not getting out there. So yeah, that was a reminder for me. But there's no punishment other than the good texts. They might give them to someone else, and someone else might publish a better book, and then that's that. But it's okay, because as long as it gets out, that's the most important thing. But they just hope that we want to do it, but it's all free choice. So that is part of the headaches and the stress, and we have to release the I have to or I should, and follow the what if it could be something that I'm just happy to do, excited to do, and love to do, and not pressure myself into having it be in a specific way or a specific pace, or so that people will be excited with me in a specific way. Just like I started this live with 0 people here. I didn't tell anyone I was live. I didn't bother, but I did it anyway because someone's going to find it and I love doing it. So I did it because it felt good, but I didn't feel like writing posts online because I wanted to just relax a bit before. So always just do what feels okay for you and don't stress. And the upgrade thing is a big part of it. They're saying you're working super hard with the upgrade. So give yourself some credit for that, because they do. Yeah. Did I skip a question? And Tina being Tina said, thank you so much, Michelle. Such a pleasure. And Angie says, where are you practicing? I don't know my mission. Do you see any hints? So where are you practicing? Do you mean like, so I practice anywhere in nature, in here, in bed, and when I'm healing, but I'm placed in Denmark. But I'm looking for that retreat place in the world somewhere. Anyone want to build a spiritual community? Let me know. I'm there. Maybe if it's a good place and people are nice and they don't do it to make a lot of money, but to spread the love and be a part of something amazing. So part of your mission, yeah, they're saying that it will be revealed because it's up to you to decide. So it's not as though there is a set mission. There are some learnings and there are some things you're just better at than others. Like me, I'm gifted with the ability to talk, and to learn and to be super curious, like asking questions and just like a sponge, learning. So that means it makes sense that my mission is to spread whatever is coming and to be like the messenger or a channel or whatever you want to call it. And you have, and I love doing that. So I decided, okay, I like doing this. Yeah, why not? I'm doing it and I love it. So a mission as such is just to have a human experience, to evolve as a soul, to learn things about being here and emotions and love and sadness and grief and despair and pleasure and joy and excitement and all the emotional things that we get to experience. And without the lows, the highs wouldn't feel so high. And sometimes it feels as though it can't be. I didn't choose this. I feel cheated. I want a new contract. And then you realize suddenly I'm talking from experience. Suddenly you wrote a new contract and said, bring it on, give me an upgrade. What's the next step? Let's go. And it's, oh, dang, I did it. Me, human, Michelle, not just my soul. But wait a minute, was I just a puppet? Was I not? Did I really control it? But yeah, I did. So, yeah. And then Angie said, practicing readings. I'm looking for more. Yeah, there are many good ways to learn more. So I used to be on Spiritualist National Union. They have this international version, snui.org, where you pay not a lot to be a member, and then they have like Zoom meetings. There are different meetings for healing, for psychic abilities, and all of that, and you can just join. Once you pay the annual fee, very low price, you can just join, and there are like breakout rooms where you can practice. Then there's Verisol. I'm on that as well. It's also free for mediums, so you can practice with other mediums. Also quite cool experience. So you give feedback and you get feedback. Healing, just give healing. I mean, I'm a yoga teacher, and every time I do the meditation, I ask, do you want healing? Is anyone against the healing? But they know me. So I also have meditation and healing, and I practice there. So that's one way I do it. Just have fun with it, and do some writing with your spirit guides, and go to, I don't know, I'm going to something called Wild Women Nordic Camp this weekend coming up, and it's just all women and it's spiritual, and there are going to be workshops and stuff, and I just look forward to meeting a lot of people who are interested in the whole being open to being yourself, unapologetically yourself, and allowing others to be themselves and sharing experiences. So that's very cool. Yeah, Marit says, thanks for tonight. Yeah, you're welcome. And I'm just sending you a lot of healing now. I'm sending the energy, boom, because I lost track of time. I apologize. Thanks for being here. Oh, Angie said, I'm on Verisol. It's restricting. Restricting. I don't know why it would be restricting, because you kind of set the boundaries yourself. But there are also Facebook groups where you can practice, like, what's the one I'm in? One-on-one mediumship development group or something. There are so many different groups where people are asking for sitters, and you can make your own group. Yeah. Or just offer readings at a symbolic price. Yeah. And you say, thank you, you're a good teacher. Thank you. I try to be. I do my very best, and that's enough. But I love the feedback. So, and Marit also said, spiritual people say that all naming of people as neurodivergent, etc., is for the benefit of expanding people's awareness. Therefore, my question about my daughter, her so-called naming neurodivergent. Yeah. Well, I also believe that's why I'm calling myself the neurodivergent psychic, because I want people to be aware of how you can use your different brain in an amazing way. Because the people that I consider neurotypical, as in normal, boring, they get confused when I go off topic and I get excited and they get tired. And when I'm with my people, the neurodives, we can get excited. We can talk about a million things, and we have so many interests, and we can go there and there. It's like we're doing a whole galactic journey together in 10 minutes. And then you have the people who are just, why are they the typical being praised as normal? I mean, that shouldn't be normal. That seems like a problem. I'm sorry, not a problem. No one's a problem. No one's a problem. We're all on our own journeys, but there should be room for all of us, and no one should be normal or typical or there is no normal. Like, who would want to be normal? I don't. Not if normal is. So I'm actually being aware that I would love to be normal if we all got access to our abilities and knew how to use it. So it would be normal to know how amazing we are and creative. Uh-oh. Angie asks, what is the higher self? Is it like an oversoul of my incarnations? I always struggle with the higher self thing. I just want to see if I missed any questions along here. You guys have been amazing with all the comments today, but I think I got it all. If I forgot something, just put it in again. And Marit says, boring is the word, exactly. The normal, slow, with no fantasy. Yeah. Well, they can't help it, just like I can't help it. But I mean, I love that YouTube has the speed thingy. So when I'm listening to normal people, I can put the speed to 1.5 or maybe even 2 so that I don't get bored, because my brain, and also because I am super intuitive, I often know what they're going to say long time before they're ever done with the sentence. So if I can just speed it up, it's easier for me to process it. So yeah, we just have to find ways to adapt. And then people who cannot keep up with my pace, they can put the speed down to 0.5 or whatever. Isn't that amazing? Yeah, so we should just have tools so that we can all be together and get the benefits of the amazing things. I mean, sometimes we need people who are very slow to help us calm down and breathe. And luckily, my guides help me with that. Okay, so back to Angie. What is the higher self? Is it like an oversoul of my incarnations? I struggle sometimes with the higher self. So the higher self, I'm going to ask the guides to come through, because I really feel, for me, my higher self is, I don't feel as such it's my soul. I feel as though it's part of my soul, because I feel like my soul is way bigger than my higher self. But I feel like this higher self has the program that was meant for this part of the soul's journey, as though my higher self can be doing many experiences. No, not my higher self. My soul is having many experiences, and my higher self is the part of the soul that has the program for this version. I don't know if it makes sense. It's new for me. I'm actually very surprised that I'm saying this. I didn't even know that I had come to believing this, because it's quite recently that I was listening to Daryl Anka. He channels Bashar, and it's like, he channels aliens. It's like, can I believe in aliens? But he says so many cool things, and how do I know that I'm not channeling aliens? If it's telepathy, why would I only believe in spirit guides? Well, because it makes sense, because I can speak to the dead and they can tell things about when they were alive. So I have just had, well, it's spirits. I'm talking to spirits, but who knows? I don't know. I'm not ready to know. But I'm open to the belief that my soul is huge, and it can have many different versions of experiences all at once. And so I'm saying this in this way because I keep seeing a picture as though it's an umbrella. I have my soul on top, and then different higher selves linked to existences that have different experiences that the soul needs. This is really a cool picture. I want to see if I can paint this or draw it. But I'm going to go in and have them tell a bit about it. Basharia, you know. And Angie said, oh, wow, I never thought intuition would feed into my being bored with presentations. Yeah, that's, I'm always amazed that people hang around for so long. I've been talking for almost 2 hours now, and I still have people here. So that's amazing. Yeah, and you're saying the umbrella is a good visual of soul. Thank you. Yeah. So I just want to have my guides come with some more information. So please, Odeon, tell us, what do we know about The higher self, is it the soul or is it part of it? Why do I see it as though it's a part with a programming? It's so funny when they're coming through with information that I'm not sure that I'm ready to accept. It's as though they're working on my filters. And this is probably my ego beginning to talk so that I don't say things I don't know if I'm ready to believe in. So I'm just going to step back again and let them come through. But it's there I have this, they're working through my filters like a computer or something. Okay, go ahead. They're accessing my higher self. That's funny. It's as though they're coming from where I usually talk to them into where I have it, and then they're going up into my higher self. Okay, so why is that? They're part of the programming, so they were assigned. Okay, so that's confirming that it's a program. Like we call it a contract or a mission. Some would say the Akashic records, where everything is written in. But the guides and so they're showing me, as when I was a kid, I used to love those books where you would say, so this and this happens. Now you can choose to do this, go to page 20. But if you choose this, go to page 32. It's as though the Akashic records is more like that. Depending on what you choose, you get, it's not all the pages. There are different versions of how an experience can be taught. And based on what you choose in any situation, you go to the next level that may skip some pages. Maybe sometimes you go back and start over on a specific learning. And it's all parts. So the higher soul is actually more or less your Akashic record for this experience. That's pretty cool. So, okay. So that's why I say I go through my higher self to get to the Akashic records, because I feel it. They're showing as though I go up, and then it's actually, they're showing me as though it's a big version of almost like a human profile that's on top of me, way bigger. But I feel I go up and up, but it's actually like in the head of this thing that I call my higher self. So I don't ever go out of it. The Akashic record is in there for me. That's interesting. This is cool. Has anyone heard about this before? I would like to hear other people explain this. And it's because the universe is, it's a creation. It's so all the information for the Akashic records. The reason why I'm talking around about this is I have just, so in this book I was just hearing the Akashic records. It's Sandra and Taylor or something that is talking in it. We can access other people's Akashic records, and we have the impression of going up into the library where we can access it, but it's actually we access the other person's Akashic records. So the every person that we interact with in this life is part of our own Akashic record, because the encounters are part of our experiences. So even if it's a client, we can get access through the library. So if I go up into my Akashic record, that would be kind of like a portal to theirs, because it was built in there that if this person chose to come to me, and if I chose to have them as a client or whatever, then I would get access there. It's like wormholes. Now it's getting confusing. It was way easier before, but they're like gateways through each person's Akashic book, life book, whatever, to the encounters we have, so that the joint experiences we have can be seen, shared, communicated. Yeah. You need to say goodnight. Yeah, I need to say goodnight. Thank you. And Angie says, I learned so much just watching you work with your team. Thank you to you and your team. You're welcome. That's kind of my thing. I love to explain what's happening, because I needed to know how. And if someone knows, because I want to become better at channeling, and my guys keep saying, just ask us, but I'm a lazy student and it would be so much easier to see someone else work, because I don't want to do the work all on my own. I want to see other people doing it and get inspired by them. Yeah. So if you know someone who, like me, explains the process, but of more of the channeling, higher entities and the semi-trance thingy when I do the galactic thing, because I still don't know quite how to completely allow them through and step back, because I have so many filters they have to work through still. And that's one of, okay, they're saying, yeah, you just ask for an upgrade, and that's one of the things we're working on. So we're vacuuming some of the filters and making sure that there's a better passage. Okay. Yeah. Okay, so they're just saying, based on the healing, I usually do a healing, so they're just going to send it. So this is going to be, that's actually cool. Thank you, Marriage. You said you need to say goodnight. Yes. So this is going to be a sleep healing. So they're not going to do healing as such here. They're showing me as though they're making a tiny package of energy, of healing, of whatever is. It's like a ball of this. Oh, it's so amazing. They're showing me how when you go to sleep, and you can just say it now, and they're just showing me what the process is going to be like. So that ball is kind of gonna come and wrap around you, and just it's gonna unfold like a sleeping bag or something. And the healing is just, oh, it's the blue light. It's the blue moonlight. They're showing me that you can kind of wrap yourself in it, and it's gonna be as though you're just gonna sleep. Like a sleeping beauty sleep, so you wake up as though you've had 100 hours. Oh, that would be amazing. Thank you. I'll take that. Yes, please. But if you allow it to work, I wanted to say, maybe it won't work for you if you don't believe it, but that is me being afraid of this not working for some of you, and then me not being good enough. But it's not my job to make sure that you get what you want. It's your job to set the intention. That sounds amazing. I want the blue sleeping bag, the hug from the moon, and the upgrade where I release the need to be a savior, to fix people, and instead I replace it with this new higher vibration of having compassion and empathy, and knowing where to offer and when to wait for people to ask for help, instead of me just tapping, can I help? Can I help? Can I help? Do you please want to let me help? I want to help. I want to help. Yeah, that's me and my son, and I am I waste a lot of energy, his too. So luckily now he's not afraid of saying, Mom, I can't anymore. I'm just so tired. Can you please stop? And I think that's the topic. Michelle, can you please stop talking now? Because we don't have any energy left to concentrate anymore. So, oh, and Sarah's here. Hi, lovely to see you. The explanation about the community record makes sense. Thank you. And Freya says, thank you, darling. Well, you're welcome. So again, set the intention. Please let me have the blue moon hug, and let me release the crap that I no longer need, so I can step into this new powerful feminine energy. And this goes either not either. It goes to all of you, no matter what you identify as. This has nothing to do with gender or sexuality or whatever. It's the feminine energy where you're able to send your own emotions first, to protect yourself, to fill yourself up with everything you need, so that you can be more for others without overstepping their boundaries and yours. So once you get to really set your own boundaries, you're not going to just go out there. So be you, completely you, and be good about it, and stop thinking that the more people you help, the better person you are, because that kind of forces us to feel we pressure other people to things that we would want for them, because we know they're able and capable. But sometimes the pressure it removes the flow. It turns into a blockage. So all my love, all the blue light to all of you. Oh, it's so annoying how whenever I'm channeling for a long time, I just have so much, I want to burp all the time, and that wouldn't be very ladylike, but hey, I'm authentic me, so cheers to that. Still not alcohol. Yeah, so it's been a pleasure, and I'm grateful for all of you here. And oh, and remember, I do this every Monday, same time. So I'm going to put up some more lives. But if you don't get the notification, there's this. So if you subscribe, there's also this bell icon thing, the notification thing. If you click that, they will tell you when I'm going live. They is YouTube. It should be somewhere. And I still haven't made a newsletter. And I am not going to apologize for that. But I didn't put it in my calendar, so it didn't exist. So I want to put it in my calendar so that I remember to do it. But I have a busy week. So have a lovely day, evening, night, year, month, whenever it is. And I think I forgot to say the date. Maybe I did. It's June 1st, 2026. And for some, that means the first day of summer. So happy summer all. And happy blue moon, and happy you, happy me, happy us. So I am going to go to bed now, and I'm going to wrap myself in the blue light. So I am thanking my guides for that. And just know there's a ball of energy waiting for you no matter when you're listening to this. Just think, yes, please. Whenever I am ready to go to bed, just wrap me in that amazing blue light if I haven't already done the work. It will still feel like a hug from the universe. So I hope to see you in the comment section, or in real life, or in your energy. Maybe we'll meet in a dream somewhere. And I'm already looking forward to next time. So have a lovely day, evening, night, whatever. And I love you. Take care. Mwah. And Odeon says, okay, I don't believe that's them saying ta-ta for now, because that sounds like me, but that's the sensation that came from them. So ta-ta for now. And thank you, Sarah. Bye-bye.